what we go through as a child tends to build up our self-image of ourselves as adults. And that will bring about a self-image that's both good and bad. And the things that you find, like bad habits, self-destructive thoughts, these are all rooted in experiences from your childhood. The point of spirituality and the techniques within the spiritual systems is to go within and find out the root of that issue, where it started in your childhood, and how and the ways you can begin to correct it. Like, for example, as a child, you may have had a dream that you wanted to be a fairy princess. To an adult, that's an irrational dream. You can't be a fairy princess. You can't do that. To a child, to be told their dream is irrational is traumatic. Something that we as adults, we see as something small. I'm just trying to put you in the right direction. To a child, that's trauma. Now, as an adult now, they grow up, they're having all these unfulfilled things in their lives, and they're trying to figure out why my life is unfulfilled. So they sit down, they go inside, and they realize, when I was little, I wanted to be a fairy princess, but everybody told me I couldn't do it. Everyone told me I couldn't do it. But then now as an adult, she starts to do the irrational thing and find out what a fairy princess is. Oh, as a fairy princess, I would have been studying about herbs and plants. I can continue to do that right now. And so she can, basically what spirituality allows you to do is go back into your life, find out what changed you, where you went wrong, and you can correct that in your everyday life right now. You know what I mean? Fairies are intimately connected with nature and the woodlands, and the herbs in the woods, and the plants and the vegetables. You know what I mean? And if they had encouraged you on that path, you would have been a great herbalist. You would have been a healer through natural means. You know, someone great with diet and using herbs to help other people increase their spirituality and overcome problems in their childhood. And this is what the spiritual techniques allow each one of us to be able to do, whether it was bullying, whether it was some type of childhood trauma, whether it was physical, whether it was emotional, whether it was mental. It allows us the opportunity to look back within ourselves and find the origins of the bad habits, the origins of the bad thoughts, the origins of the bad behaviors. Find that origin and change it. Change our relationship with it. And thereby changing our future, changing what's ahead of us, changing the road we go down, changing our present circumstances by just changing your perspective. No matter what your story is, there's always an energy, a person, a thing, something within yourself. There's always something there to give you the answer to help you. Spirituality, you'll find it. And a lot of times, and like I said, spirituality, sometimes the answer comes from irrational places. Sometimes it comes from an irrational place. Sometimes when you're feeling bad, a child would just say, smile. Smile, mommy. Even though you don't feel like smiling, that's wisdom from that child. Smile. What she's saying is fake it till you make it. Just smile, mommy. And you eventually feel better. And then, you know, when your child tells you to smile, you give your child that fake smile, and you see their face light up, and you start smiling for real. Doesn't sound rational that can actually improve your mood. Doesn't sound rational that can actually change anything in your life. But spirituality is calling us to do some irrational things in order to get better. Because, like, you know, all my life I've been doing rational things. How well has it worked out for me? You know, I'm not where I want to be at by doing all the rational things, the logical things. You know, spirituality may ask me to sit down in front of a candle and just meditate on my intention. Seems a little bit irrational, doesn't it, to sit down in front of a candle and meditate on my finances? When everybody else would say, pound the pavement, put in resumes. Yeah, you can pound the pavement and put in resumes, but focusing your attention can actually have you pound the pavement more efficiently and put your resume into the right places. You can magnetize yourself to attract to yourself the highest paying jobs for your training. Or you can magnetize yourself to keep getting $9 and $10 an hour jobs. This is what the spirituality is about. It's not going to do the work for you, but it puts your mind in the frame to go where you want to go and get what you need to get. You know, that's what spirituality is about. You know, it's taking control. It's not being controlled. You know, some people think that astrology is spirituality, and on certain levels it is. But is it about being controlled by the zodiac sign, or is it about controlling the zodiac? See, the zodiac is like a clock. Either you're going to be on the outward edge, or you're going to be the centerpiece, which controls whatever perspective you want to have in life, all the way around the wheel of the clock. There are many techniques in spirituality for you to become the centerpiece and control the hand of the clock to be whatever is necessary for whatever time is necessary you to be it. You know, that's the spirituality, and all my life, that's the type of spirituality that I was looking for. You know, how to really deal with your psychology and break down the barriers. You know, how to really unite your total self. You know, there's no reason that my conscious spiritual self should be any separate from my football self. There's no rational reason why they should be separate. Only reason they're separate is because society says, oh, separation of church and state. Separation of your fund from the church. Separation of this from that. That's irrational because somebody else told you that. Somebody else told you that. That's not something that came from your spirit. That was something that was here before you were born. And it's irrational that you should just be popped out and just follow all this stuff. You know, what if your spirit is telling you, I need to unite with a lot of people. I need to unite with people. I need to unite these two people together. I need to unite that group together. What if that's what your spirit is telling you? When everybody's telling you that you should be separate and apart. That the church should be separated from the state. But your spirit is saying, I came here to bring the church and the state together. To bring spirituality and the mundane life together so that I can unite heaven and earth. Maybe that's why I came. Maybe you came to keep heaven and earth separate, but I came to bring it together. Who are you to tell me I'm wrong? Just like I can't tell you you're wrong. Spirituality is about finding your own path as well. Your path isn't going to look like everybody else's path. You know, I see in spirituality, you hear somebody talking about, yeah, I talk to spirits all the time. I channel spirits. I've spoken with some of the greats. And then you'll have people like, yeah, I want to do that. What if that's not your path, though? Are you willing to give up because your path doesn't look like someone else's path? Spirituality is about finding your path. See, you may never see a spirit, but the spirits may speak through you. The spirits may tap you on the shoulder and say, this way. And you say, hey, that's that suit I was always looking for. Or you might be just about to step out into the street, and that spirit says, hey, you stop. And somebody blow through the red light. You stop. Oh, what was that? That's your intuition. That's your path. That's the spirit realm. They're always there.